Everyone's got an opinion. That's why we've invited Adrian from Summernats and Kristian from Goleby's Parts into the Haltech studio for another mass debate on six-cylinder engines. Okay guys, thanks for coming in today. Before we get started, I just want to get one thing clear. When we're talking about six-cylinder engines, we're talking about good six-cylinder or the best six-cylinder engines today. So we're leaving out V6s because...
Correct.
That's right, yeah.
You obviously work at Summernats, so one would think that you'd be a big V8 guy, but you're actually not.
Well, you can be both.
Right.
I certainly have an appreciation for the crazy, mental horsepower V8 stuff, and the sound that a V8 makes is probably one of the better engine combinations out there. But yeah, no, I'm a six-cylinder guy through and through.
Six-cylinder, and specifically RB.
That's right, Nissan.
Nissan RB.
Nissan all the way.
All the
yeah.
way. Is it true that you actually were one of the first people to run at Sydney Dragway?
Yeah.
In
So
an RB power car?
the night that Sydney Dragway opened, it was really rainy. We didn't get a pass until nearly 7 o'clock, but they wanted some rubber down before the big meet the next weekend, so they opened it up to the street cars. And myself and a buddy of mine, Brett, were the first two cars down. $30 million facility and two little RB Skylines go down. I was also the first person to lose at Sydney Dragway.
the first loser. So I'm going to assume that you're here to tell us that the RB is the best six-cylinder engine?
Well, it is.
And would you agree? No.
No.
Why? Tell us why.
Well, it's when we're talking about the noise, which we touched on a little bit, the noise that an RB makes, any combination of RB, probably with the exception of just a straight single cam RB, at 9,000 RPM, is just, it's sweet, sweet music. The RB twin cam series of engines, you got to talk about it in the same breath as the cars that they're from. So GDR, that basically says almost the entire argument.
So we're really talking the R32, the R33 and the R34.
That's right, because R35's V6 and V6's jump.
I do agree that the RB is a special engine. I grew up in Bathurst, and as you know, the Godzilla, the R32, was a famous car at Bathurst. It caused a big upset and changed Australian motorsport. So definitely a soft spot in my heart, and I think most people of our age would agree that it's a special car. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't just in Australia that it towed up in the racing scene either. When the 32 GDR was released into Japan touring car racing, it basically won every race that season. It won just about every race the next season, and it was if you can't beat them, join them in Japan. And a lot of successful teams did join. In Australia, it was a little bit different. It changed it. Some would say, I would say, for the worse, and they couldn't beat it. The ones that didn't want to join changed the rules to get rid of it.
They outlawed it, basically. Handicapped it, then outlawed it.
Yeah, they hamstrung it with weight. They hamstrung it with boost. And, there's not much you can do. You've still got to go racing. Teams change cars and engines and that kind of stuff all the time. Times move on. I think it was a great era and something that a lot of people that came up that probably didn't even have a license at the time, I certainly didn't, in 1991, it made them really passionate and they latched onto that car. There's always that one car or engine or driver combination, and those GDRs on the mountain, as you said, that's genesis for a lot of passionate car enthusiasts in Australia.
However, the RB isn't without its fault. In fact, it's got a couple of faults, I believe. Kristian, would you say that there are a few faults with the RB?
Definitely.
What would you reckon they are?
Design-wise, they're nothing basically like a JZ's designed.
You're known as the JZ guy in Australia pretty much.
Maybe.
You've got some pretty fast drag cars. You've had your Corolla, you've now your Capri. You're not a fan of the 2JZ. You're one.
I do prefer the 1JZ.
Yeah, why is that?
For the engine size, I think they're a better engine.
Okay.
Obviously, the 2J makes more power because it's larger, but the actual design and power per cube, the 1J is definitely my favourite.
So, and you reckon that's a better design than the RB? Why? What?
Oh, most things are a better design than an RB.
Yamaha did a really good job of designing Toyota's engine for them.
Yeah, correct.
Very good. So I think probably what oil pumps are often an issue with the RB.
They can be, yeah.
They can be,
yeah, definitely.
And the cam angle sensor can sometimes be a problem.
Even back in the RB30 days, you know, there was dizzy issues and cam angle sensor, crank angle sensor problems. Thankfully, the aftermarket resolves those really easily. So it's not necessarily the problem. All of these engines that we're talking about are quite old now. Nobody's made an RB for years. Nobody's made a JZ for years. So keeping them going, if Toyota aren't making parts, if Nissan aren't making parts, it falls to the aftermarket to do it. And if you're pushing any of these engines to some decent power, you're going to use aftermarket parts. So is it really a problem? I'd say no. In saying that, I fixed the oil pump problem in mine by completely ditching the factory oil pump.
So there's two things on a JZ that you don't need to replace straight up, apart from age. Trigger kits, not needed. Factory stuff, 2,000 horsepower.
Yeah, right.
Oil pumps, factory oil pump, under $300. You can take it up to 2,000 horsepower.
Yeah, wow.
So,
And that's what sort of power do you? When we're seeing really big power out of some RVs now, some of the Matuk stuff that's coming out is crazy.
Yeah.
How much of that is an original RV, like a Nissan-made part? Probably just the head, really, is it? Now we've got billet blocks, we've got aftermarket cranks, conrods, pistons, obviously, valve train.
Yeah. There's a point that you hit with any engine combination, and it will change depending on the engine combination, where you can use factory parts and where you can use factory parts, but you probably shouldn't. The 2JZ thing was always the stock bottom end thing. The stock bottom end can take 1 million horsepower, and they were really good. Again, all of these engines are really old now, so maybe a lot of that has gone by the wayside. It's hard to find a 40,000 kilometre Supra.
But I suppose that's one of the advantages of the RB now, is that there is that aftermarket support. So if you're going to run one, if you're going to race one, you will be able to buy parts. You will be able to buy aftermarket.
there's more parts available for them.
For an RB.
Because they need them.
Yeah. Oh, because they need them.
When you're talking about, how much of it is left standard, the Matuk's example is a really good example, because the stuff they're doing now, they're right at the coalface. They're breaking stuff and fixing stuff and learning and pushing the aftermarket side of that, and pushing the manufacturers to make stuff better, because they're going past what's achievable with the existing stuff. There was a time when they were making standard stuff go super fast. And this is, 6 or 7 years ago, making, standard slap together bottom end RB30 VL Commodores go 830s and stuff like that. Like, it's what you can do and what you probably should do if you're doing it properly aren't necessarily the same thing.
So going over to you, Kristian, we've talked about the JZ, how you're a JZ sort of fan.
Yeah.
What about it has attracted you to that engine?
It's Fast and the Furious, Kristian.
2JZ engine, no
I think first JZs we played with were probably 99, 2000.
Yeah.
So they were cheap back then. 1J still are. That's probably why I like them, because I'm a bit of a tight ass.
But you're getting really big power out of yours, aren't you? Like,
our 1J in our Capri is just one of our basic long motors.
okay, would you call that a street package?
It's still a street package,
Okay.
yeah.
And making
It's just,
what sort of?
basically the engine is just pistons and rods, billet main caps, ARP main studs, stock Toyota head gasket, ARP head studs.
And runs in the sevens.
It's run 790.
Yeah.
It's got plenty more left in it, but
So we can agree that the JZ's a strong engine, I suppose. Going back to what we were talking about before with the classic days of touring cars, Japan touring cars, things like that.
they could have put Supras in Bathurst, but
yeah, well,
they're
they-
too fast to go around corners.
Well,
Normally slow cars go around corners.
well, they did race Supras in the Japan series.
with
Yeah.
4 cylinders.
With
in
4
it.
cylinders, they took the three.
make
they,
them corner.
So obviously,
I'm not going to
JZs
deny that the GTR probably goes around a corner fast.
Yeah,
doesn't
so it was a 3S
3S
GT. Yeah, it was that.
Bit of a lead-tipped arrow if you're going to race
Yeah.
a 3-litre Supra. It's interesting that a lot of the fast RBs are in the car that they came with.
Yeah.
And I'd say most of the fast JZs are in Capris and Corollas and chassis cars.
Right, not in that sort of.
There's a few in the US
car,
in
yeah.
Supra still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Titan and Real Street and those
Yeah.
guys.
Supra's probably a slightly heavier car than, say, a rear-wheel drive Skyline.
Yeah,
I think that's
couple
fair.
100 kilos. Yeah.
So it's easier to go perhaps faster with a lighter car, which is why there's so many JZ swaps in other things.
other
That's
things.
probably why JZs are far more expensive than they were
And because no one wants Sauras
20 years ago.
because
No.
they pay $1,000 and pull the engine out and put in something else.
For a Sora.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the best thing for a Sora. Sorry.
You're an RV guy.
You saw
You've-
the shirt, right?
Yes. Yeah, an exploded RV, by the way.
Yep.
Um,
Is the block split?
yeah.
No,
Probably. I
Your,
watched it.
your JZ, can you guess what I'm going to go?
I'm pretty confident.
Ford Barra Turbo.
Yep.
Is that a performance engine?
I believe it is a performance engine.
I thought it was a taxi engine that
Well, it is a taxi
Ford
engine.
put something on. So it wasn't
It's
designed to
taxi.
go fast.
It wasn't designed to go fast.
Accidentally.
However,
It was designed in 1963, mate. It was.
it's been thoroughly updated.
It's
The-
got,
the
yeah, they
big
moved
end
the
bearings
cam
are-
up about 16 inches
Added
and
an
added
extra one.
another one. That's it.
The bearings are the same.
Are they?
Yep.
Yeah, the big end bearings are still the same.
Are they?
Yeah.
But however,
I liked my XP Falcon.
power,
They went downhill.
power, you can't deny. It's a big engine. It's strong. So 4 litres, right? It's got cubes. It's got cubes over both of you. Cubes equal
Cheetah.
torque. Cubes equal torque.
All
Equals
torque.
power. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
All talk.
Plenty available. Break one, get another one.
It's true. They're the
Get
cheapest.
another taxi.
Yep.
Right? Can go fast. There are some fast street cars out there running Barras.
Yeah.
I think
They keep the tyre shops in good business because
Yeah.
they can't use it.
8 seconds, I think. Oh, is there one in the 7s?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's been the FGU, the Dynamite car.
Dynamite car?
Yeah.
Well, Dion's Dynamite drag car is a 6-second car.
Yeah.
Easily. Yeah.
660, I think.
2,000 horsepower.
Yeah.
And uses quite a few stock parts.
Yeah.
Um,
Because they don't make a billet Barra block.
no, they don't. No, they don't. Yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I reckon the Barra it's a good thing.
It's a good thing on a value for money front. It's big, but it's also very heavy. It's also a Ford motor, so it's not very desirable in any way at all. I had one. I had a BF Turbo, and it was great. And my family drove it, and it was a taxi, and it was fine. I had no emotional attachment to it whatsoever,
No?
and I don't think anyone does.
So would you say you wouldn't put a Barra in a Capri? No, you wouldn't do
I
that.
improved the Ford.
Right. you don't want to keep it in the family? No.
No.
No. Right. And you probably aren't a big fan of, let's say, Grimm's R32 with the Barra in it.
I like it from an engineering perspective. I'm glad that it exists, but I'd never do it.
You wouldn't. Would you drive it?
Yeah, I'd give it a crack. He probably wouldn't let me after say that. But no, but it's like you've taken something that's excellent out and spent a lot of time, effort, energy, and money to make something almost as good go back in. They're a good engine, but the people that have them, the kind of people that get excited about Barras are the same people that would get excited about LS1s if they were Holden guys or Chevy guys. It's two different types of vanilla. There's nothing there.
So basically, Ford and Holden can fight for second place.
Right.
And
While the mighty Nissan reigns
Yeah.
supreme.
the Jap stuff just
Yeah.
can stay at the top.
say probably the RB for aftermarket support gets a tick in a box.
Well, Ford need a lot of aftermarket.
Ford
parts, so-
well, they don't exist so much right now. There's not that many aftermarket.
You don't need aftermarket
Don't
support
need
to make
aftermarket
600
stuff.
horsepower, mate. It's okay.
So,
Yeah.
so we'll say bang for buck, the Barra, and maybe
Probably for
Reluctantly.
low horsepower, yeah.
Yeah.
For like up to your 600 horsepower, they make it really easily.
If your car came with a Barra,
Yep.
if you've got a Falcon or a Territory, I'm not going to convince you to RB26 swap it. That would be dumb.
Because there's JZs.
But so would owning a Territory or a Falcon and racing it.
Porter's got that ute that he has the Barra in. It's not fast, but pretty interesting to watch.
You see the guys at drag challenge every year, and it's the street surface test of a radial tied street car, and there's some Barra Falcons that turn up to that probably have as much horsepower as some of the GDRs, and they're great for the first 8 feet until they blow the tyres off it, and they're blowing the tyres off it at the other end of the racetrack.
The whole track.
Yeah, so it's great. That basically says that the big horsepower that they make is great for the dyno, and that's about it, which means in a cruel twist of fate, as time has gone on, a Ford Falcon is the auto salon dyno queen.
And we all agree that the Barra is a good engine.
Apart from its hydraulic lifters.
It feels like a participation trophy, if I'm honest.
Any other? Do you think there's another straight six engine? Of course, we're not talking about V6s because they're terrible.
All of them.
Can we just touch on that? Why is the V6 a bad engine?
Have you heard of V6 ever in your life?
I used to own a V6 Commodore back in the day, so yes, yes, it made all the mangs.
With one mang or two?
The V6 Commodore is what people think of when they think V6s, and it's because they're in Commodores. It's probably the most prevalent engine in an Australian sedan that's on the road today.
But they didn't take their crap engine and put a turbo on it.
Yeah,
Not in Australia anyway.
not in Australia. Yeah, in America they did it, and it was factory. You know, Buick did it.
Yeah.
And some of those are really fast. Again, like the Barra, but there's nothing appealing about them to me.
I think
And for their size compared to
Yeah.
the JZ and RB,
Yeah.
really they only make the power because of their size.
I think from an engineering standpoint, a straight six, inline six is a better balanced engine.
There's not things
V6s have
going
got
the
all
wrong
sorts
ways
of,
and
all sorts
stuff.
of weird harmonics and stuff that you've got to put a heap of tricky maths in to try and get it to run smooth. And if you do all of that, you can have like a VR 38 or something, which is a nice engine. But the straight six is
We've got to separate
an easier, better thing.
We've got to separate technically advanced and technically superior from good. And
Yeah.
good has an element of do I like it? And if it sounds like a V6, I don't like it. One of the quickest VG30s in Australia was in a circuit car, the old Unique Autosport 300ZX. It was a track car, and there were that many GDR parts in that car and RB parts in that engine. You may as well have called it an RB.
So if you put the two engines together, they're good.
No,
Whereas a JZ, you just buy the
V6s
JZ.
are still junk. They're still. I'm never going to love them. Straight sixes, BMW straight six. They've got a certain amount of appeal.
N54?
Yeah.
My daily driver has an N55 in it, and it's a fast car and really nice to drive. I really like it. I rate the BMW.
Yeah.
That would be definitely up there with the 6-cylinders.
Up there.
Yeah.
And a version of that will be in the new Supras. The
Yeah.
new.
True. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
a collaboration with BMW, the
Yeah.
new Supra. Yeah.
They're not a nice engine to work on, but
No.
they are a good engine underneath all of that.
Yeah.
What about old school stuff? Anything that sort of tugs at the heartstrings there, like a Hemi Slant 6 or something
Oh,
like that?
yeah.
It also, I think, benefited from cubes, really.
Yeah.
Was its main thing over, say, the 202, Holden 202 or something like that.
The 202 might as well have been a V6.
The 202, I suppose you'd say, was the Barra of the day.
Yeah.
There were plenty of them about people made enough stuff to make them fastish.
Well, again, like you can put a 186 head on them or something. But again, like the JZs, you can get a car that's got a 202 that's fast, but it's not a car that came with a 202. You know, they put them in a slingshot rail, and it's like the nostalgia stuff, or they put a blower on them, and you know, with a couple of cars, you know, blown 202s that compete in the burnouts at Summernats, and they do a really good job.
They're
But
a nostalgia car. They're not really.
You're doing it because of
You don't
the
do it to
nostalgia.
go fast.
Yeah, no. I got Broads at Street Machines getting cranked. I can say sorry,
I
Broads.
can hear Broads.
Yeah.
He's going to bust through
They're
the door.
fine. Carburetors are great.
Oh dear. Anything that you would say is bad? A bad example of a straight six?
7M GTE, 5M GTE.
Yeah.
7M's not a bad engine, just the
Just
head
head
gasket
gaskets.
issues from factory.
So if you fix that though,
If you build one up, everyone got scared, but
Yeah.
there's several people that have run 8 seconds.
There's a couple of really fast
Even on
7Ms
standard
out there.
7M bottom ends, I think, have run into the 8s.
But Toyota really learnt that lesson with the head gasket side of things, and that's why 1J, 2J, standard head gasket. So
That's why they
I
sent
think-
7Ms to Australia and
yeah, right.
Japan kept the JZs.
yeah, smart.
Shame on you, Japan.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. That's our opinions. Adrian, Kristian, thanks so much for coming in and giving us your expertise on 6-cylinder engines. I'm sure you've got a favourite 6-cylinder engine. Let us know what it is in the comments below, even if it's a V6. Until next time, my name's Richard. Thanks so much for watching.